Hello everyone, welcome to this series on the history of English literature. And in this video, we are going to discuss the development of prose in the Elizabethan period. Introduction. In Elizabethan period, the development of prose lagged behind that of poetry. While poetry flourished, prose began to take shape more gradually through various forms and genres. This video explores the early development of prose in several key areas: the essay, the novel, literary criticism, and miscellaneous prose. The essay. The essay in Elizabethan times began with pamphlets, character sketches, and other miscellaneous writings. Its significant development is seen in the works of Francis Bacon. Bacon's essays mark a crucial point in the rise of prose, introducing a style that combined philosophical insights with practical advice. His work laid the groundwork for the essay as a literary form. The novel. The novel saw its meager but significant beginnings during the Elizabethan era. Important early works include Thomas More's Utopia 1516, Philip Sidney's Arcadia 1590, and John Lyly's Euphues 1579, Francis Bacon's New Atlantis 1626, and most notably Thomas Nash's The Unfortunate Traveller 1594. These works, though not fully developed novels by modern standards, represent important steps in the evolution of the genre, setting the stage for future developments. Literary criticism. The birth of literary criticism in Elizabethan period reflects the growing stature of national literature and a realization of the need to establish writing principles. Critics lacking substantial poetry from the previous century turned to classical models for guidance. Their concerns were primarily focused on three topics: the status and value of poetry. Stephen Gosson's The School of Abuse 1579 attacked poetry as immoral, prompting Philip Sidney's famous rebuttal, An Apology for Poetry 1582. William Webb's A Discourse of English Poetry 1586 attempted the first historical survey of poets and poetry, while George Puttenham's The Art of English Poesy 1589 provided the first systematic consideration of poetry as an art form. The importance of classical models. Roger Ascham, before the Elizabethan period, advocated for versifying on classical models, a view later supported by Webb. Puttenham, however, balanced between native and classical traditions, indicating a growing tension and dialogue about the best approach to poetry. The merits and demerits of rhyme. The debate over rhyme culminated in a significant exchange between Thomas Campion and Samuel Daniel. Campion's Observations in the Art of English Poesy 1602 condemned rhyme, while Daniel's A Defense of Rhyme 1602 asserted the right of every literature to its own customs and traditions. Daniel's defense was momentous and vindicated through the successful use of rhyme by almost all Elizabethan poets. Miscellaneous prose. Elizabethan prose was exceedingly voluminous and varied, encompassing pamphlets, theological works, sermons, translations, travels, and unique works like Robert Burton's Anatomy of Melancholy 1621. This diverse body of prose served as the central exercising ground for average prose writers and laid the foundation for many important future literary groups. Conclusion. The development of prose during the Elizabethan era, while slower and slighter than that of poetry, laid critical groundwork for future literary achievements. From the philosophical essays of Bacon to the early novels of Moore and Nash, and from the birth of literary criticism to the voluminous, miscellaneous prose, Elizabethan prose set the stage for the rich and varied traditions that would follow. So this was the video on the development of prose in the Elizabethan period. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.